my gosh. Woo! Happy Friday, everybody. How are you all doing? Can you believe it's Friday already? So what I'm trying to do, you guys, is I'm trying to get to the gym earlier. I'm trying to do 2-a-day workouts. Did not work out last night because I was up so late last night. But here's what we're gonna do. So I announced yesterday, Ronda Rousey is fighting. I'm so excited. She's fighting December 30th. So what we are doing is we are going into fight camp. We are getting super excited, and we are getting ready to go into our world of fighting. I just find her, to me, you know, there's a lot of controversy people have over her. She's very polarizing. I almost think you either like her or you don't. For me, first of all, once I like someone, I don't ever get off the I'm very loyal. I don't get off the band. I'm not like a flip flapper. And a lot of people were a lot of people say she doesn't have very good sportsmanship. She doesn't carry the code of a martial artist, etc., etc. Well, my thing is, it's very easy to be what I call a couch potato judger or keyboard, judger. I respect everyone's opinion, and God bless America. We live here. Everybody has an opinion. For me, I don't like to judge people at all. I know it's a natural thing. I know we all do it. You can say that you don't, but as a martial artist, you have to carry somewhat of that judgment lens, because you need to assess your life in every moment. If you're walking down a dark street, you have to assess your situation. You have to assess people around you. You need to be very, very aware of your surroundings and what's going on around you. So yes, I do carry that lens. Of course I carry that lens, but I do not carry that lens when it comes to judging people on the internet and slashing out and doing all that crap. I personally can't stand that, but whatever, teach his own. Back to Ronda Rousey. My thing is that I read her book. I don't know if you guys have read her book, but I read her book, and it just gives me a greater and deeper understanding into her psyche and just who she is as an individual. I have always on a core gut level related to her kind of her street side, her fighter side. She lost her dad when she was young, and her dad was like her hero. She and her dad would go looking for one of the stories in there that's really neat is they would go look for rocks, and they had this really cool daddy's girl connection. And then when he took his life, that was it was devastating to her. It was totally devastating to her. And it's interesting for me, when I say I lost my dad when I was 8, basically my parents got a divorce, and one of my last memories of my dad, it's funny too how you have these memories, but one of my last memories with my father was him lifting me up. I was in a blue polyester it was funny, my mother had bought us these little outfits to wear on the airplane. I'll never forget my little outfit. It was a little blue polyester, it was like a pantsuit. You have to remember, this was back in the 70s. This was like 79, it was almost 80. But anyway, and I just remember him, it's just weird how your mind remembers, but I just remember him picking him up and him saying to me, "You are the strong one. You need to take care of this family." And it was just, here I was, like 8, 9 years old, right? And it was just like, I don't know, from that moment on, it's like my life changed. Like, it instantly changed. I instantly went from this little girl with like beachy Kihei Hawaii hair to this girl that was going to take care of her family, take care of her mother, take care of her brother, and take care of her twin sister. And from that moment on, I think that's the birth of my fighter, was at that point. Although I think in life, you're almost born a fighter, because if I were to look back, my mother would say on the playground and stuff, if anybody would look at because we were like the only like blonde, blue-eyed kids there, and so we got like totally just blasted, murdered, picked on by the Hawaiians. They'd always call us pigeon, and you know, we were total little outcasts. But it's so funny, even growing up when I was little, like, you know, tiny, it didn't matter to me. I didn't care who you were. I didn't care how big you were. I didn't care what color your skin was. You were not going to pick on my sister, and you were not going to pick on my brother. I'd pull you over. I would just literally take my hands and I'd clothesline you. And, you know, that kind of, that gut behavior and just couldn't kind of who I was as a young little girl, then growing up, I just continued that. And I've always been that way. It's like even when I used to compete in high school, and, you know, after that, just, you know, in races or swimming or whatever it was that I competed in after that, you know, on a more of a fun level, I always took that game face in. I was always going into an event very, very serious. And for me, and you know, people will tell you that there is no small talk. There was no, you know, when I'm going into a competition, you better have something really good to say, or just don't talk to me, because it's like I go into nail eating time. Not nail eating, like, yeah, nails, but like hard nails, not my nails. Like, my thing is, I remember when I competed in Las Vegas, I competed for it was for a Kajugembo point fighting championship was held in Vegas, and at the time I was a white belt. And I just remember my whole thing going into the competition was, first of all, I wanted to bring honor to my two Sifus at that time, and Sifu Phil and Sifu Remy. And I wanted, my whole thing was, when I went into that ring, it was literally going to be, I had this image that a gun was pointed to my twin sister's head, and literally there was no way someone was gonna, that girl who I was competing against was the one that was holding the gun. And I was like, that was it, and I won. I mean, you know what I mean? I was like, there's no way. And I've always kind of been that way my whole life. I've always been able to just completely disassociate everything around me when I would go into competition mode. And my whole thing was, I wanted to disseminate the competition. I remember in high school in a cross country race, I was running against a girl. I will not say her name because, you know, I don't want to ever, you know, call anyone out, but she was one of my biggest, like, kind of competitions. She was from another school, and she was an amazing runner, and I'm sure an amazing soul, because anybody, I think, in high school that runs cross country, I think we kind of are, I think we all are very special souls. We're kind of souls that are not running away from things, but we're very internally dialogued individuals. Because to run cross country, I remember they would take my twin sister and I out with the boys cross country team. They'd literally drop us off in the middle of a cornfield and say, okay, we'll see you back at high school. And I remember one time my sister and I had to go to the bathroom, and there was no place to go but the cornfield. And I went to high school in Indiana, so I mean, it was hilarious. But anyway, back to the girl that I competed against. I'll never forget this. Her dad, I think it was at sectionals. Her dad, it was at one of the big races. Her dad would come to every one of her races, and he was very, very vocal, and he was very, very loud. And I didn't have a dad. You know, my mom was working. We didn't have any family that would ever come and watch any of our races. So I was always, you know, by myself. And, or, you know, with my brother or my sister, if my sister, you know, was in that race or competing or whatever. But anyway, I remember this gentleman saying, specifically saying, he was calling out his daughter's name. You better not let that white girl beat you. You better not let that white girl beat you. And I'll never forget this, you guys. I was literally running. I mean, I felt like my heart was going to explode out of my chest. Like, that's how fast I was running. And I was like, the thing with running that's so cool is you just, like, you want to, like, it's just so many things calls on you to give up. But I was like running with, I mean, I was full in lactic acid threshold maximum. And I just remember this dad saying, you better not let that white girl be. And it was funny, man, she should have never brought her dad to that race that day. because as soon as I heard him scream that, you better not let that white girl beat you, I literally, I don't even know what came over me, but this like, this threshold of energy just like blasted through me. And I beat her, I won. But anyway, so that was that. But anyway, all of this to just tell you that, let me just turn this on. Maybe I'll keep the air conditioning on. All of this to just simply say though that it's like, for me, I just love Ronda Rousey. There's something about her street, her gut. When she walks into an event or room, it's like I feel as if, I just feel a total camaraderie with her. I love her. And you know what? So at the end, maybe if she doesn't shake a hand or whatever, the only reason why I should ever do that is if she feels like she's been disrespected or her family's been disrespected, and she's no sellout. I think she carries the world on her shoulders, and instead of, you know, doing what most martial artists would do and what I do and what my Sifu has always taught me to do is always bring respect into your competition and outside of your competition, and actually to have more respect in the loss. In fact, I remember the girl that I beat in my in the tournament in Vegas. I went to shake her hand and she like spit on the floor. She did something and she did it right in front of her Sifu. It was like, it was kind of shocking, but you know, she was, I think, 3 or 4 belts higher than me at the times. But so anyway, it is just to say, for me personally, I think honor is very important, and I think it's always honorable to bow in and bow out, even if you don't want to. I just think that we're kind of called to do that, and as a Christian, Christ commands me in my heart to be that way. So even if I don't want to be, it's like I just find God, I that's my higher calling, is that. So anyway, that's just my personal philosophy. But anyway, back to Ronda Rousey, you guys. So she's gonna be fighting December 30th, and I just as a show of honor and commitment to her and her fight, I really want to go into training mode with myself. So anyway, we are here at the gym. I'm going in. I'm gonna start with some probably going to start with some cardio. I'm going to do that 10 minutes, 30 seconds on, 30 seconds off, 30 seconds on, 30 seconds off, doing the level 10, the level 20, the level 10, the level 20, probably for 10 minutes just to get my body warmed up. And then I'm going to go into leg training and some cool stuff there. Put some jammed on some music, and then I'll probably end out with some cardio like that. But anyway, I'll catch you guys on the flip side. But I just want to tell you guys, just get into this, you know, do whatever you can do. For me, it's just fun to think that I'm in a fight camp within myself, and that I'm pushing someone like spiritually towards her dream of coming back and defending her UFC title championship. Anyway, I love you guys, and let's all remember, we're gonna celebrate on December 30th. We're gonna celebrate all of our hard work that we've been putting in now. Okay, love you guys. Remember, send in your light, send in your truth, and above all else, what? Be a warrior. Okay, you guys, I love to end with a big kiss to you guys. Okay, kisses. Mwah.